Speaker, sir, because you come from Kerala, I want to draw the attention of the country with an instance, an example of Kerala. Now, suppose the government today does not go ahead with delimitation and 330A comes into play by force of law, 2027 census gets published. What will happen then? Look at these numbers, Speaker, sir. Today, Kerala has 20 parliamentary seats. If you will divide based on 2027 projected population, the population of the country and population of Kerala, and divide the 553 seats across the country from north to south, then Kerala will lose 6 seats. Kerala will have only 14 seats. Now, on these 14 seats, bring 1/3 representation for women that 330A Nari Shakti Adhiniyam brings. Now, what is going to happen? In that case, Venugopalji will not have a seat. In that case, all those people who are representing the Congress here and opposing this will not have a seat. What the present proposal of the Narendra Modi government is additional 10 seats to Kerala. This is only gain and no loss. This is why I say this is the best proposal that one can bring. Speaker, sir, let me take the example of Tamil Nadu. I am glad that Rajaji has come here. Now, they are making the most loudest opposition.
One second. How can you convince the House how this 10 seats will be increased, by which provision?
My learned friend Gaurav Gogoiji was in his speech mentioning that we are bringing the delimitation exercise through the back door. I want to very clearly make it clear to him that the delimitation exercise is not a backdoor exercise that the BJP is doing. This is a constitutional mandate of Article 81 and 82. We are only purely following what the Constitution asks us to do. There are 3 primary articles that govern the exercise that we are now conducting, Speaker, sir. Article 81, Article 82, and Article 330A of the Constitution, which provides for women reservation. Let us examine all the 3 articles briefly and summarily to understand what the articles essentially say. The first article, 81, determines the total number of seats. It also says that the total number of seats meant to the Lok Sabha, the House of People, must be divided across the country in such a manner that the ratio between the number of total seats and the population of the state is, so far as practicable, the same for all states. This is the first requirement. The second requirement of Article 81 is that within the states, the territorial constituencies shall be divided in such a manner that the ratio between the population of each constituency and the number of seats allotted is, as far as practicable, same within the state. This is the mandate of the Article 81. Now, as you are aware, Speaker, sir, Article 81 and Article 82, by operation of the 42nd Amendment, which was carried forward again by 2001 Amendment, froze the number of seats in the Lok Sabha to 543 with a leeway to expand it to 550 seats. Why was this done? In 1997, when this was first discussed, the population in the country had not stabilized. Therefore, a compromise formula was taken that let us not put the southern states which have performed well in population control, let us not penalize them, let us freeze the number of seats. The same thing continued even in 2001. In 2001, while considering this bill, the then Law Minister, Arun Jaitley ji, said this to the floor of the House. He said the national population policy also envisages that the year 2026 shall be the year in which the population of the country would hopefully stabilize. Therefore, what was true till 2000 is sought to be frozen till the year 2026. That is, the year in which we anticipate, hopefully, that the population figure in the country would stabilize. This is the motive behind freezing of the seats in 1971, which was carried for another 25 years in 2001. We are now in 2026. The first argument that the opposition is making is they don't want the delimitation exercise to take place. This is the most absurd argument. In 1971, the population of the country was 550 crores. The population of the country in 2026 today is 140 crores. There are assembly constituencies and parliamentary constituencies. Again, I want to take the reference made by learned colleague Gaurav Gogoiji in his speech. There are certain assembly constituencies in this country which are 26 lakh in number. There are certain constituencies where one single MP is representing close to 38 lakh people in the country. The population of almost a small nation in Europe. How is this democratic? How is this accountable governance? How can the number of seats that was frozen in 1971 still cater to a population of 140 crore in 2026? For better governance, for better accountability and accessibility of elected representatives, Speaker Sir, delimitation is not a mere democratic imperative, it is also a constitutional duty that finally Narendra Modi government is performing today. Speaker Sir, I want to contrast this with the proposals that the Congress and the opposition is giving. The opposition says, why can't you implement women reservation as it is on the 543 seats? Why don't you freeze the number of seats? Now, were we to freeze the number of seats, it will defeat the principle in Article 81 of one person, one vote and one value. This is a very important constitutional principle that the founding fathers of the Constitution have protected. You cannot be having a seat where 8 lakh or 9 lakh people will be one parliamentary constituency and another constituency with around 30 lakh people represented by one MP. It defeats the very purpose, which is why Constitution mandated that 2026 shall be the year where delimitation of the seats shall take place. All that the government is now trying to do is fulfill this constitutional mandate. There is a difference between other governments and the Modi government, Speaker Sir. Other governments, especially the governments of the Congress party, have always believed and practiced the politics of postponement. It is the Narendra Modi government that does not believe in politics of postponement, but believes in solving the problems of the past. If the Congress were in power today, they may have, like was done in 71, like was done in 2001, wanted to take the safe route, the unconstitutional route, the undemocratic route of freezing the 1971 census equation. But the Narendra Modi government has decided to bring a new equation to the scheme, which is going to give more seats to all states, more representation, and while doing this, follow the constitutional mandate of delimitation based on one vote, one value principle. This, according to me, Speaker Sir, is the most practical, genius solution that anybody could have come on. I welcome this constitutional proposition that the Narendra Modi government has brought. Speaker Sir, I now want to take a couple of minutes to examine the arguments that the Congress party and its leaders, the opposition and its leaders have made in opposition to these three bills. Now, the first thing that they say is, don't do anything. Don't bring in the delimitation. Why are you bringing delimitation and connecting it with the women's reservation bill? Now, let me for a minute assume what will happen if we don't do anything today. Article 81, Article 82 and the Nari Shakti Adhiniyam under 330A will trigger. Now, what will that do? 2027, the moment the new census data is published, the delimitation exercise will get triggered. And because as of today, Article 82 and 81 freezes the number of seats in the country at 543, all across the country, delimitation will have to take place to redistribute the 553 seats among the existing states of the country based on the 2027 population. Now, what is this scenario going to do? Speaker, sir, because you come from Kerala, I want to draw the attention of the country with an instance, an example of Kerala. Now, suppose the government today does not go ahead with delimitation and 330A comes into play by force of law, 2027 census gets published. What will happen then? Look at these numbers, Speaker, sir. Today, Kerala has 20 parliamentary seats. If you will divide based on 2027 projected population, the population of the country and population of Kerala, and divide the 553 seats across the country from north to south, then Kerala will lose 6 seats. Kerala will have only 14 seats. Now, on these 14 seats, bring 1/3 representation for women that 330A Nari Shakti Adhiniyam brings. Now, what is going to happen? In that case, Venugopalji will not have a seat. In that case, all those people who are representing the Congress here and opposing this will not have a seat. What the present proposal of the Narendra Modi government is to not only protect the existing seats from encroachment, it is also a proposition to ensure that Kerala does not lose out on 6 seats. Now, for a minute, I want to assume, let us not take the 2027 census, but let us divide the country's parliamentary seats on the basis of 2011 census. Now, what will happen? 2011 census ke aadhar par, if we are going to divide the number of seats, again 543 because Article 81 freezes is at 843, again Kerala will lose 5 seats. If you take 2011 seat number, Kerala will lose 5 seats. If you take 2027 number, Kerala will lose 6 seats. What Narendra Modi government is today offering is additional 10 seats to Kerala. This is only gain and no loss. This is why I say this is the best proposal that one can bring. Speaker, sir, let me take the example of Tamil Nadu. I am glad that Rajaji has come here. Now, they are making the most loudest opposition.
One second. How can you convince the House how this 10 seats will be increased? By which provision?
How?
By which provision this 10 seats will be
Yes. I'm coming there, Speaker.
Please.
Yes. Thank you, Speaker, sir. You have asked a very pertinent question. Many questions from the opposition in the last few days is the Delimitation Bill, the Constitution Amendment Bill, both do not speak of this 50% increase. On what basis are you saying there is going to be a 50% increase? This is the question. Is this the question, Speaker, sir? Yes. Speaker, sir, I would want to draw your attention.
Not the Speaker, Chairman, sir.
Chairman, sir, sorry. I would want to draw your attention to Article 81 of the Constitution again. What does the Constitution Article 81 say? Article 81 says, as it reads today, not more than 530 states chosen by direct election from territorial constituencies in the state, not more than 20 members to represent union territories in such manner as Parliament may provide. In essence, 81(1) and 2, 81(1)(a), (b) essentially gives 550 seats as the total seats that is now frozen. The interesting part is 81(2), where the mandate is that the above said seats, the 550 seats mentioned above, shall be allotted to each state in such a manner that the ratio between the number of population of seats and the total seats and the population of the state shall, as far as practicable, be same across the states. This is the provision that operates the 50% argument. Today what we have done, instead of 530 members, we have now increased it to 815 members for the House of People seats from the states and increased another 30 for the union territories. A 50% increase is what we have given. Now, how will this be operated? when Article 81(2) is applied, and the Delimitation Commission will have to conduct the delimitation and the apportionment exercise exactly on the basis of 81(2) because it's the constitutional mandate, then they will have to reapportion the states. They reapportion the seats in the only manner possible, that is a 50% increase for every state. This is the argument. Chairman, sir, the problem is the opposition does not come prepared for debates, and even if they do come prepared for debates, they behave in a manner as though that they don't understand, because the object is not to understand, the object is to oppose for the sake of opposing. I hope I have made myself clear, Chairman, sir. Chairman, sir, now let us examine the second argument. Now the second argument is that if there is a proportionate increase in 50% of seats for all states, then the states of southern India will lose out. Rajaji, please listen to me. I am as much as Indian from the south like you are. Speaker, sir, on March 24th, 2026, Tamil Nadu Chief Minister MK Stalin makes this tweet, and I will read one important sentence from that tweet, with which I have full sympathy and full support. This is the tweet that MK Stalin speaks and writes. It is our consistent stand that the current proportional representation of states should not be disturbed under any circumstances. This is what he says. I agree with this. I have already made it clear. If at all this government had brought in a proposal that would decrease the number of seats and my state of Karnataka would be in a loss, I would have been the first to protest it. Now what has the government done in the light of this tweet? What does the state say? The current proportional representation of states should not be disturbed under any circumstances. I will take you back to this chart. Now, Speaker, sir, if... Chairman, sir. Now what is going to happen? We have increased the number of seats to 815, 850 in total. Every state is getting 50% proportionate increase. As a result of this, Tamil Nadu, which is now at 39, is going to get 59 seats. Karnataka, which has 28, is going to get 42 seats. Andhra Pradesh, which has 25, will get 38 seats. Telangana, which has 17, will get 26 seats. Kerala, which has 20, will get 30 seats. And what is the proportionate increase? Andhra Pradesh, 52%, Telangana, 52%, Karnataka, 51%, Tamil Nadu, 51.5%, Kerala, 50%. The total share of the South Indian states, which as it stands today, in the total scheme of things in the parliament, in the floor of the parliament, which is 23.9, will continue to remain 23.9 after this is passed. I don't understand where is this objection coming from. This is exactly what the Modi government has done by protecting the proportional representation of state which should not be disturbed. The argument, the demand that Stalin had made, this is the same thing that the Narendra Modi government has done, but today they are out there in Tamil Nadu doing drama by burning this constitution amendment bill. Let there be a limit to your hypocrisy, Rajaji. Let there be a limit to the hypocrisy of the DMK.